Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing college bowls right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now we're going to cover Texas A&M and West Virginia, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, Peter.
All right, you've given us great advice for many years, but I've been particularly impressed with your analysis of intangible factors covering the bowls this year. Before we get to your take on Texas A&M West Virginia, give a plug for OffshoreInsiders.com.
Yeah, no, I just said it again. Yeah, no. Thank you, Peter. If you buy my picks, you will see games analyzed from every single solitary angle, whether it's matchups, or it's motivational factors, and as you said, intangibles, especially in these smaller bowl games, and some kick-butt super systems. But the super systems are actually verifying what my own observations were over the years. So we leave no stone unturned, as they say at OffshoreInsiders.com in the bowl season.
Sounds great. AutoZone Liberty Bowl. AutoZone, the best car parts in the country and the lowest price. Isn't that amazing, Joe Duffy? The company with the best, highest quality, you would expect them to at least have, maybe the mid-range prices. No, AutoZone, the best parts for the lowest prices. Unbelievable, right, Joe?
I am the least handy person you've ever talked to in your entire life. So I go through an auto parts store every now and then, but I wouldn't even know, because if I start touching with the engine of a car, it's going to get ugly.
It's an unbelievable company. AutoZone, the final answer in auto parts. All right. Texas A&M and West Virginia. West Virginia is a 3-point favorite, or well, actually 3 or 3.5. It's a split line, total 67. And for me personally, West Virginia, a little hard for me to get a read on them at the moment. Texas A&M, though, of course, tanked in a major way for most of the year. They were 1-7 against the spread over their final 8 games after a 3-1 ATS start. So, what condition will they come in here? Sometimes those teams, though, those teams that are like decent programs that went 1-7 against spread over their last 8 games, come back and they're undervalued in the bowls, and they are a good bet. Is that the case here? I don't know. What's your take on this game, Joe?
I definitely think that Texas A&M is the type of team that will truly benefit from the time off. Because remember, when they had Hill, he looked like he was going to be a Heisman candidate, and everyone's like, oh, they're not going to miss Johnny football at all. And then, of course, he wound up regressing to his mean, and then they got suspended, and they had all that quarterback controversy. Look, the bottom line is, despite what they looked like against South Carolina, that turned out to be an overrated team anyway, they missed Johnny football, and it was a big adjustment period, and they lost a big-time receiver as well. So you can kind of understand how Texas A&M, remember, they're in the Southeastern Conference, so that's a tough adjustment to make when you lose some players of that quality. And Johnny football, say what you want about him, but he's without question one of the greatest college football quarterbacks of all time. And you just can't replace a quarterback like that without missing a beat. And I think they got a false sense of security with the great game against South Carolina. Keep in mind, when it looks at schedule strength, I thought the Texas A&M, the difference in schedule strength would have been a little tougher than Massey. I like using Massey ratings. They say that A&M played the 7th toughest schedule in the country, West Virginia the 13th. But when you dig a little bit deeper, the way the schedule was aligned, remember, A&M had as brutal of a 3-game stretch as you're going to get. They played Mississippi, and as well as the home game against Mississippi was squeezed between road games against Mississippi State and Alabama, 2 teams that were both ranked #1 at one time this year. So you can see how that stretch just really kind of knocked them for a loop, and they got knocked down, but now they can get up again. Nobody going to keep them down. I really think that this long break will benefit Texas A&M as much as any team. And whenever in doubt, the mid-range, the non-elite SEC teams in games like this, you always like to go with a team in a better conference. And part of the reason is because they wear down against the better competition during the year. But as we said, the rest benefits them. So, yeah, Texas A&M is a team that I have circled as the time off should really benefit them a lot.
There you go. Joe Duffy, that's what you call expert handicapping analysis of a bowl game. And yeah, we're looking over this card thinking which of these teams that were bad bets at the end of the year are going to come on and be a good bet in the bowl. This might be one of them. Texas A&M currently plus 3.5 is one of the market-wide available lines. Joe Duffy recommending Texas A&M in the Liberty Bowl. Thanks so much, Joe.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.